Now, we delved into what is really going on with our solid minerals sector, which is supposed to be an alternative revenue generation. I had a discussion with Dr. Kayode Fayemi. Dr. Kayode Fayemi, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well, now, Nigeria, of course, is blessed with abundant resources, and yet we had this tendency, and of course we did depend hugely on oil. Now there's the need, there's the determination to diversify. What exactly will the solid minerals sector be playing? What role will it be playing, in this regard, in this era of change?
Well, the mandate that we got from its president is to ensure that these aspects of our economy contribute significantly to job creation and to revenue generation. Those are the practical deliverables expected from us. But even the notion that we're embracing other resources is in itself significant, because this is not the first time that Nigeria has paid lip service to diversification. Every time oil prices go south, we talk about non-oil sector diversification. But once the prices start to climb up again, we lose interest. What I think is different this time around is that the president is far more determined. He's not a man of many words, as Nigerians know, by committing himself to the agenda of diversification and also placing people that he believes can help him drive the agenda in a very focused and committed manner in positions of responsibility, speaks volume to what we're likely to see here. But that's not to say that this is going to happen overnight. Mineral resources development is an extremely capital-intensive development. It's not even agriculture. Agriculture, you can go to your backyard and start planting. And Nigeria is blessed with a range of vegetation and climate that would allow you to do that. And land is also there in abundance. But for mineral resources, unless you just want to indulge in diggers and shovels, small-scale mining, you need a lot of capital to do this. You also need a lot of technological expertise to do this. You need data, geological data. You don't just dabble into it unless you have all the requisite factors of ensuring success. So what we have done is to undertake a very hard objective assessment of where we are in the sector and where we want to be 20, 25 years down the line, because it has to be a long-term agenda. It can't just be one of these quick wins. Mineral resources would not start contributing 10% to the GDP tomorrow. It's not going to happen.
Not even in the next 5 years.
Not even in the next 5 years. It's not going to happen. So let's get that clear. But we can begin to prepare for the boom that we want to see in the sector by taking certain steps around our legal and regulatory environment, around the relationship between federal and states, what I would call collaboration in the sector, around management of those who are engaged in informal, some would say illegal, mining, and around the environmental challenges that are often associated with mining.
What is that challenge? When you say you need more collaboration between the federal and states, apparently there are lots of reports that, including that of mining, so many activities going on in states that the federal really can't account for. Where is that disconnect right now?
The truth of the matter is that Nigeria is a large country, and you cannot sit in Abuja as a minister and expect to be able to know everything going on in all the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. It's not realistic. However, if you allow the host communities, and the states that are in control of the land to take a level of ownership and stakeholding in the overarching framework that drives mining and mineral resources development. You are likely to get more bang for your bucks than when you want to go into competition with states. And that's precisely what we are doing here now. The law is obviously clear. Mineral resources development is exclusively a federal government responsibility. Nobody is disputing that. Not even the states are disputing that. But what the states are asking for is that we don't just want to wake up tomorrow and hear that somebody is mining in our backyard without any information about it. So you don't expect us to protect the interests of these people if we have not been taken into confidence in the first instance. So we want to know, when you are given license, we should have some stake in knowing who you are giving these licenses to and what commitment they have made to developing our environment, so that we don't repeat the mistakes we've made in oil and gas development in the host communities that just literally found themselves as spectators to these people who have come exploiting their resources without giving adequate support to the communities where they're exploiting the resources. And I think that's a fair request to make on the part of the states. So we're finding out the best way to accommodate, without necessarily flouting the Constitution, the expectations of the states. And this is not a good time for states. They're not very buoyant. So they're looking for all ways to also realize additional revenues. Now, royalties in mining go to federal government. Taxes in mining go to federal government. Fees for licenses go to federal government. Nothing really goes to them. And that's why we're arguing that even in the first place, let us ensure that 13% derivation, which is enjoyed by the oil-bearing states, is also extended to all resources. There's nothing in that law that specifically says it must be restricted to oil. So there's no reason. If it is natural resources, mineral resources, it should also legitimately go to states where these resources are exploited from.
Please hold on with that thought. We're still with the Minister of Solid Minerals, and we're looking at happenings in the sector, especially as it concerns the new administration. Please stay with us.
Government has an obligation to support these operators because of the strategic role they are playing. Remember that as at now, almost 80 to 90% of mining activities taking place in the country are done by these small-scale miners. There must be a series of intervention. I'm happy that the Solid Mineral Development Fund is there. The Solid Mineral Development Fund is there to assist them, although not properly funded. I appeal that government should fund the Solid Mineral Development Fund.